today I am going to be making a poke cake, not to be confused with anything to do with Pokemon, which is kind of what I thought this was when I first kind of saw this going around the internet, because it was like when Pokemon Go was like a thing. And anyways, this is a poke cake. Mine is going to be red velvet with cream cheese frosting over top. So I'm just going to use, to keep things like super simple, I'm using just like box cake. If you want, you can just like make it from scratch. That's totally fine as well. And then I'm also going to use like the canned cream cheese. Again, just to like kind of keep it simple. And then the other thing that you're going to need for this is condensed milk, not evaporated milk, because I went to the store and I just saw evaporated milk and there was just like a tiny little section of condensed milk, and I was almost going to get the evaporated, but then I googled it and you don't want to do that. Use condensed milk. So just follow the instructions on the back of your box cake, because I think like everyone is different. So for mine, it calls for 3 eggs, a cup of water. I always use milk instead of water when I'm making box cake. I just find like it just tastes better. It makes it more moist, I guess, which, I mean, when you're making a poke cake, it's gonna be moist, but still, I just like to do that. And then 1/3 of oil. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put all those things together. So now that everything is all mixed together and looking all lovely, I'm just going to go ahead and grease my pan. So I'm just using like a square cake mixer type thing. And I'm just using like a pan or whatever to grease it. You can use like oil or whatever you want. So I'm just going to let that set for a bit. I probably should have done this ahead of time, but I didn't. So yeah. Okay, so now I'm just gonna pour that in. And I always like to just kind of flatten it out, like make sure that it's flat so it doesn't, like when it bakes, it doesn't go like go crazy or whatever. It's as flat as possible. It will like rise in the middle or whatever, but in this purposes, like for this cake, it really doesn't matter if that happens. So I'm gonna put that in the oven. I had it preheating at 350. So 350, and leave it in for ½ an hour. Again, follow the instructions on the back of your box, because it depends on like the type of cake pan that you're using. It depends on the mix that you're using. So let's go ahead and do that. So now my cake is all done and baked. It kind of got a little burnt around the edges, and I don't know if you're able to kind of like see, but it definitely did do that thing that I was talking about, where it like raised quite a bit in the middle. So I'm not really sure what happened. I don't know. I am far from a professional baker. I just like to bake just for fun. It kind of relaxes me, and I like kind of finding new ways, different things to do with baking, especially with box cake. I kind of always keep box cake on hand, and I always do things that are different. So this is my first time making this poke cake, and first time using this brand of box cake. So such in life, just roll with the punches. It's still gonna taste just as good. So now what we're gonna do, I kind of let it cool for like a little bit. What I'm gonna do is the poking part of the poke cake, and I'm just gonna use the back end of this like wooden spoon to make like holes in it. You can use a fork, you can just use whatever. Just make sure that they're pretty evenly spread out. poked in your cake, we're gonna take the condensed milk. This is the fun part. And just pour it right in, and with the holes it's just gonna seep right in, making this poke cake super, super moist and delicious. So let's go ahead and do that. In the fridge to chill for about an hour. Alright, so that has gone ahead and chilled, and it's looking pretty juicy already. So now I'm just gonna get my cream cheese frosting and just frost the top of it, just like you would, I guess, any other cake. Grab this, and yeah, so that's pretty much basically the basic concept of a poke cake. Any poke cake that you make is just, you know, poking holes in it, getting some condensed milk, and yeah, just letting it chill for a bit, let it soak in, and then you can frost it with whatever you want. And while I was at the store, I saw, and I did finally find the right thing that I needed, the condensed milk. They had like different variations, like I threw out the can, but it was just like regular condensed milk, like run-of-the-mill ones. But they also had like caramel ones, they had low-fat ones, so you can definitely switch this up. Like I said, I just decided to make a red velvet one because it's, you know, one of my favorite cakes definitely to make, because it is visually like the prettiest, like the color and everything. And then but you can also do, you know, chocolate cake, and then, you know, use the caramel condensed milk, and use like white chocolate or something to frost it with, add some like nuts, pecans on top to decorate. You know, you can kind of like, if you go on the internet, I've seen so many, there's a lot going around of different variations. This is just kind of the simplest form of making a cake. And, you know, like I said, I always like to, you know, kind of keep some box cake handy, and then just look on the internet to see kind of, you know, what I can do with it, how I can make it different. And this one just seemed really good, because it is more or less pretty, like your run-of-the-mill cake, essentially. But, you know, when you add the condensed milk and make it a lot more moist, it just kind of kicks it up a little bit. And when you cut it through, you should be able to, I think, see some of the condensed milk like in the middle. We'll see how this turns out. When I cut into it, I'll show you guys. And yeah, like I said, I am not a professional. I'm not sure how this is going to turn out. I've never done this before. But I mean, like I said, how can you go wrong? I mean, it's red velvet, it's frosting, it's milky, it's moist. Oh, I've been saying moist a lot lately, and I just came to the realization that a lot of people don't like that word. I don't know what else word to describe cake like that, though. Juicy. That sounds even weirder. Yeah, sorry if you cringed when I said that like 10,000 times in this video. But yeah, I'm not really doing anything fancy with my frosting. I'm not the best froster in the world. I'm just not the best at anything. I just, like I said, baking relaxes me. I like to do it. And like I said, I like finding new ways to do something like pretty simple. So anyways, there it is. I'll show you guys a little bit once I cut into it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just going to finish up frosting it. I don't know if I'm going to use the whole can. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. cat, she doesn't usually do that. She's just being kind of weird right now. Living with the cat, stuff happens too. Let's roll with it.